Of course, you have to take
situation.
responsibility. Yeah.
Now, I want to dial back to the to one of the answers. Like when you say grow, like to like people, in relationships you grew. What does that mean to you? Like when you're mentioning grow.
Evolving out of ways that don't benefit me or them. Negative behavior, negative habits, even down to the way we communicate.
So are you more talking? Because I hear it all the time. People say grow. So if there's some people that feel grow, and I hear opportunists, meaning they talking about growing as a person. So it don't matter what they're doing for the other person.
Yeah.
It's just about whether they can grow around these people versus people use grow as growing as a unit. Oh, you can chime in anytime. This is a discussion. So
no, I understand exactly what you mean. I definitely have always gone into relationships with the conscious of that I'm looking to help someone grow.
Okay.
And I'm looking for you to help me grow as well.
So the growth is to merge.
It's to merge, and coming out of a situation, or if we're staying even within the situation, just becoming wiser, becoming more of a solid person, especially in those younger years when you're maybe not so solid. You're just gathering information still, and so that's
because I think we're big. We have to get, we have to really fine tune our ability to be effective communicators, and that's being clear on what terms are being used. You know what I mean? Because like when it can go either way, it's harder for a person to understand the message a person's relaying. So when I'm talking to a person, because I knew what you meant, obviously. So I knew that, obviously I spoke to you. So I know that you're about unity and coming together. But there's a lot of people that's using grow, and a lot of people that's using
keywords,
openness and all these other things, and kindness.
Vague.
And they're very vague. They're not really taught when to use these things. So people are being kind in situations they need to be assertive.
Right.
They're being kind in a situation, like they're not being taught that kindness is a tool used in certain situations. Growth is a tool growth is a foundation. So if somebody's not helping you grow, then you might need to make a decision. You see what I'm saying? So like these words translate to action.
Yeah.
And we think that we can just say the words or mention the words, and it should mean something to the person we're saying it to without having a definition. Because it's all about defining your terms. When you're talking to people, you got to make sure y'all on the same page. And that's a big component of a relationship. Yeah. What would you say?
I'm in complete agreement with that.
And I think that when you talk about growth, you also have to think about how, it's really about the people around you challenging you to be your best self. And the self that you said that you want to be as well. Right. So there's you have checks and balances within relationships, and it's really just even in uncomfortable situations, even in conflict, even when the other person is being stubborn and they don't want to hear what they don't want to no longer sign up for what they said that they signed up for. It's really having those difficult discussions, and that's where the growth occurs.
Well, that's a lot of where the toxicity comes into, is because you're getting into situations, especially before you're wiser, where you're not establishing that this is what everybody wants. And it is something that I've wanted, right? Since I was conscious of it, I probably was 9, when it was like, oh no, there's just a certain level, something that I'm looking for. So I was always thirsty to grow in situations. What am I going to gain from this, to grow? But then when you try to give it back, because someone maybe is helping you grow, and you're like, oh, I want to give this back to you, and they're looking at you like, nobody fucking asked you for that. You know what I'm saying? So